What are you eating?
I'm doing more bar. I was hungry.
Oh, okay. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready?
I got chew and swallow.
Rake's not ready.
Alright. Wow. Chewing that shit hard, man. You must be starving.
No, I was trying to eat it quick and so I can get on the air.
Oh, okay. Well, we're on the air, but, you know.
Like, I wasn't expecting you to pop on when you did.
Oh.
You caught me, like, in mid-bite, man.
No,
you did that on purpose. It was a conspiracy. I knew it.
I did. I have a camera in your house, Break. I didn't know if you knew that.
Again? God damn it, I got rid of the last one.
Yeah, I know.
Then we can go on Faux News and cut the audio of Break chewing.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Just whenever you guys are ready. I'm good. I got everything set here.
I'm good.
All right, you good, Eric?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I don't see anybody else in the chat though, but oh well. Hey guys, it's Eric RPG and Breakman back once again to do the episode of Megaman Retrospective we've been doing, which is the penultimate episode until we get around to actually playing Mega Man 11, which comes out next week on Tuesday. But we're doing 9 and 10 today, and whatever else we can think of. With that. Mega Man 9 and 10 are two very interesting games, lately or majorly because there was a big gap in between the last major mainstream flagship series and this and the sequel. Let's see, Mega Man 8 came out in 1998, and this came out roughly 10 years later, September 22nd. Actually, I think it started as a WiiWare title, but then, I mean, they made the announcement for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, but strangely, they left out the PC. But I think they came out like the following week or something. So there was like a staggered release for those. But I think the Xbox 360 version was the last to come out. But it's like it also had its own even more ridiculous plot.
Yes, it's true. I think they're heavily influenced by the X series at this point.
The thing is that like Mega Man 9 and 10 are created by Integrates who did the Zero series and the ZX series beforehand. But the 9 in particular is particularly very difficult for a Mega Man game in general. And 10 is like almost the polar opposite of that. Like, even going as far as to offering easy mode DLC for those who want to pay for it, easier time. And it's almost kind of like a cheat code. It's like the game puts platforms pretty much everywhere, and then reduces your damage significantly. But 9's plot is about how Dr. Wily apparently has reformed
again,
and only it's not true because he immediately gets to work on framing Dr. Light as the one having the evil ambitions this time,
and everybody believes him. Are you flipping kidding me?
After
This is like
everything's
Lex
done.
Luthor becoming president and shit. Like, or Trump becoming president. Like, are you flipping kidding me? Oh wait, that last one happened. Fuck!
Maybe this game is just art imitating life, and maybe it was sort of like an analogous foretelling of our own future.
I guess. Like, this, it's just completely ridiculous. Let me see, he's tried to conquer the world how many times by that point?
Also, it's a big money-making scheme for him, because like he says he needs money to be donated to his Swiss bank account to create robots that will be capable of taking down Dr. Light. and then he...
if you're going to take over the world, why not do it on somebody else's dime, right?
And apparently Dr. Light does get arrested and by quote-unquote jail man.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous. Like, wait a minute. Like, are you kidding me? You're arresting Dr. Light, really?
Only that doesn't happen. I think maybe it does happen, but like we don't know because like
I thought that happened early.
Because when you get to the end of the game, that supposedly happened, but like I think he took him away, put him somewhere, and then like when you get to the end, he's supposedly in a cage, but it's a trap to like shock Mega Man. And render him basically helpless, so he's at the mercy of Dr. Wily. But, spoilers. But who cares? It's an old game now.
Well, we were gonna say that anyway, so, yeah.
But, I basically, like, made a tweet about this game, about, how Dr. Wily is saying, I've reformed, but I need your money. And somebody responded to my tweet, says, oh my god, it's actually Capcom. It's like, did Integrates actually put a slam on a Capcom, like, without them noticing? Because this is essentially what Capcom would do a couple of years later, in regards to, like, how they went about doing Street Fighter. Like, because, like, they had fucked up a couple times, like, before Street Fighter V, and then Street Fighter V comes out, it is a major fuck-up, but apparently they did something that people kind of forgave them for before that happened. And then they lost all that goodwill of Street Fighter V, and now they've tried to rebuild it with Mega Man 11 and all these other games coming out, but they fucked it up again because Devil May Cry has microtransactions to let you buy orbs so that you don't have to grind them out. Even though they've probably designed the game in such a way that earning orbs is more difficult than it actually needs to be, which will probably convince some people to just fork over the cash so they don't have to deal with the bullshit.
No, they make that for the people who have for the kids to have the expendable cash, you know, like basically for the boy who lives with his mom and his dad just gives him lots of money because they're divorced and he wants to make his son happy. Like, I still love you, son. Look, here's money.
I mean, I won't forgive him for even doing it in the first place, but like, I really hope that the game is still fair with the experience. Still, I hope they don't kind of force you to do that because that would be shitty.
Yeah,
that's kind of what Forza Horizon has done. It's like, oh, you can earn these cars with in-game car money, but it takes like an inordinate amount of time to get the money necessary.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to 9. The Robot Masters in this one are a little bit more down to earth, back to roots. Like, even Mega Man's been stripped of his sliding and charging abilities.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, doesn't this feel more like the sequel to Mega Man 3 than Mega Man 4 does?
So, like, yeah, the game still has mini bosses.
Yeah.
So that's still a thing. But, like, the levels are particularly difficult. The bosses, not as much. Like, the challenge of the game is actually the levels themselves.
Yeah.
The bosses.
The mini bosses in particular, like the elephant mini bosses. Oh my god, those things are brutal.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if it was because I was playing on like easy difficulty and I was using the armor cheat, but like, I think when you're on normal or hard, the suction on the elephant is stronger, so it's harder to get away from being pulled into a pit.
Mm.
Like,
All I know is like
that could just be me getting better though. So
it could be. I mean, that's the thing with Mega Man games. They're meant to make you better. Like, you've got to get better.
But the thing is, like, I hadn't played Mega Man 9 like ever since it launched. So, but I had been playing other Mega Man games, so maybe I just got into the groove again by the time I played 9.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
But like the boss robots. Let's see. There's a Tornado Man, who looks a lot like a certain character from Zero. He looks like Harupia, and Splash Woman, who's the first woman robot master.
And so far only.
Yeah.
Unless you count like the casino game or the cartoon.
yeah. Thanks Capcom for just totally ignoring that after 9.
Yeah.
But
what's the game?
But Splash Woman looks a lot like Leviathan from Mega Man Zero as well.
She is one of the I love everything about the stage, the music, the boss battle. Like, everything about Splash Woman was perfect to me. Like, that was perfect Mega Man.
Then there was Magma Man. It's the fire level. But this music was pretty cool though. And then there's Concrete Man, who would probably be enemies with Gutsman, because Gutsman would probably break all his concrete. But and then there's his level is the one with the elephants, who piss me off because they'll roll that ball, and then there's those pits, and they'll try to suck you into those pits, or the ball will knock you in there. You don't jump. Yeah. The first one's like a gimme because like there's no pits. You can jump over the ball, basically destroying before it gets back to you.
I recommend going for Splash Woman first, because her trident destroys those elephants and about every other boss in the game, mini boss. Like, the trident is like the metal blade of this game.
Yeah, only you can't shoot it in 8 directions.
Yeah, I know.
But it does go through walls, so that works.
Yeah.
But then there's Jewel Man, who's the most fabulous robot boss. And there's Galaxy Man, who looks like the cousin or brother of Astro Man.
Yeah.
And then there's Hornet Man. And it's like Hornet Man kind of looks like he looks more like a Maverick. like a certain Maverick. I'm trying to put my name. Oh, it's Blast Hornet. That's right. Then there's his level is interesting though. But what else is there? Trying to remember.
I'm just gonna cheat. I'm gonna go look right to the list here. See, Jewel Man, Tomato Man, Plug Man, Galaxy Man,
Plug Man.
Oh, you didn't say Plug Man? Plug Man is one of my favorite stages too. I love the design of that stage, because it was designed, and they said this, it was designed for like old school Mega Man fans, but it was designed to trip them up. Because you played the old school ones, you know how the disappearing blocks work.
There's also the clones in the level.
Yeah, they did this level really to trip you up as much as they could, and it just kind of comes off as a really fun level. Like, I
hate Tornado Man's level though, because like Tornado Man's level has that weird magnet, it rotates, and it just
that looks weird.
And it's like hard just the timing when you want to jump.
Yeah.
It also almost kind of reminds me of Gutsman's platforms, It's like, hey, what if we did Gustwin's platforms, but instead of dropping, they'll just make you dizzy.
Yeah, I think a lot of this was they went back and looked at the old Mega Man games and they tried to make them.
I think we got them all though.
As far as the Lost Robots, yeah, but I mean, they tried to make these games as reminiscent of the old ones as much as possible. Like just the first 3, not really 4, 5, and 6.
There's also DLC that lets you play as Proto Man.
Yeah.
And he can charge and he can slide and he has the shield to block shots.
Which he needs because if he takes a hit, oh my god!
He also shoots from the hips when he charges, so you kind of have to take account to where you're shooting and when you're shooting.
Yeah, he takes double damage from hits. It's like, whoa. So some of those boss fights where they hit you heavy, he just a couple hits and he's down. So you gotta be really good with him.
If you play on the Legacy Collection 2, there is an easy, like, there's a get damage reduction mode that you can use, and he has the same damage output or intake as Mega Man's. And there doesn't seem to be any penalty for using it, so if you're having trouble with Proto Man mode, then you can use that.
That's interesting. I want to check that out, because I want to see what the achievements are for Xbox on it, because I own it, but I've never opened it.
If you're really a glutton for punishment, there's hard mode DLC.
Yeah. But the original Xbox Mega Man 9 achievements were weird. Like, they have, or 360 Xbox, play the game, beat the game 5 times in one day or something like that. Beat the entire game in under an hour. It's just like a lot of the achievements were focused around beating the game in different ways, and it was just like, wait, I have to beat the game 5 times in a day? I like the game, but I don't know about that. I don't like it that much. I mean, got stuff to do.
Yeah, there's another thing about. There's another thing about the plot I forgot, but like basically, Wily conned all these robot masters into working for him because they're apparently going to be recycled and scrapped because they have an expiration date, which sounds very arbitrary, and just shows that human society in general just looks upon robots without giving them any kind of rights whatsoever, which has its analog in the new show where they seem to be fighting for them.
Yeah. Well, then you got Breaker Knight and his, robot minions, I guess. I don't know. I can make you a robot master. Yeah. DB agrees with me. Dungeon Buster's in chat, and he says, yeah, that is the weirdest achievement. Beat the game 5 times in one day. I'm gonna go back and check out those achievements.
Who'd go through the game 5 times?
Yeah, I like the game, but I got other things I could do, like eat and sleep. I mean, 5 times in one day, that's ridiculous. But so where are we at the Wily stages now? Or are we still talking about? You know what? I think something that we really didn't talk about that much is the music
also,
of the games. And 9 has great music.
Yeah, really good music. It's like, especially the Wily levels. Each Wily level has different music, which is the first in a series. Because it's usually the first 2 levels are the same, and the second 2 levels are the same, but each level is completely different, which is cool. I mean, 10 kind of scales it back a bit by having the first 2 levels be the same, but or the second 2 levels being the same, and the first and third are being different.
Here's another odd achievement: clear the game by using the least amount of weapon energy possible.
So basically, Buster only.
Why don't they just say Buster only? Beat a boss without getting damaged. Ooh, that sounds like a good achievement. Here's one: clear the game without dying.
Clear the game without taking damage.
Clear the game without continuing. Oh my god,
I did beat the game without losing a life because I save scummed using the save state feature on the collection.
Here's one. Clear the game by defeating the fewest number of enemies possible.
Yeah, that's basically a somewhat pacifist run.
Like you just gotta run, like avoid fighting everything. Like, yeah, it's not Mega Man. I got a gun for an arm. I shoot everything.
But anyways, the funny thing about the ending is that like Mega Man shows like clips of all. I guess Rush recorded all these somehow. Of him.
Well, like, couldn't have been because he wasn't around for 1 and 2.
Well, yeah. That's so. I'm guessing he's using his own memory banks at that point. But
Yes.
anyways, AFC stored them all in Rush somehow. But and then he's showing him all the times Wily begged for forgiveness. It's like, Wily, you do this all the goddamn time. Why should I believe you at this point? But he says, but Mega Man, Dr. Lay is sick. That's why I stole him. Because I was going to give him money to fix him up. And he's in the cage. And then the cage shocks him, and then Proto Man has to save his ass because Mega Man's dumb.
Yeah, Mega Man is really, really gullible.
More so in this game than others.
I don't know about that, because he, in every game before when Wily was framing somebody else, he never once questioned it, and he was always shocked to find out it was Wily. Like, oh my god, it was you all along? You thought Professor X was his own guy, huh? Alright, whatever, Mega Man, whatever.
Mr. X, not Professor X.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah, Professor Xavier of the Mutant Academy for Robots.
That would be one weird crossover.
But with that, there's Mega Man 9 or 10. Sorry, that was released roughly 2 years later. Well,
Was it that long? I thought it was about a year later.
It was March 1st, 2010.
Okay, so it was like a year and a half later.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
and I don't want them to do that with 12. I want them to take their time and work on it. Like, 10 is a good game. Don't get me wrong, but it's not... Like, Mega Man 9 was so good that 10 was just... You know?
yeah.
It was fun, but it wasn't like, wow, I wasn't as blown away as I was like after playing 9.
Intercreates does their best work when they're not being rushed.
And I'm guessing that's what... And Capcom, they did this with the original Mega Man series. Like, Inafune is notorious for saying Mega Man 3 is his least favorite game. And that's because Capcom rushed them to get it done.
Which is weird, because I still end up liking it more than 2 or the others.
I do too. The third one's my favorite of the originals.
I feel like it's the most balanced of the games, that's why. But, let's see. The games had subtitles, and I'm going to go over them all later, but 9's in particular was called Revival of Ambition. None of these subtitles make it to the English releases, but...
Thank God.
But Revival of Ambition, I'm at a loss as to whether or not that's actually Capcom's ambition or Wily's. Maybe both. But 10 is about the stupidest thing ever.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, like by this time they've taken lessons from Mega Man X series. Now they're flat out copying it.
Yeah. Intercreates, when it comes to the plots, Intercreates either makes this really uber grim dark story with like usually cliffhanger or like bittersweet endings, like the death of Zero at the end of 4, or the ending to Azure Gunvolt, Azure Striker Gunvolt, but or it goes completely into absurdist territory, which is what Mega Man 10 does, where there's this disease called Robo-Enza, which is basically robotic influenza.
I know that now they're giving them. Now they have robot disease like X. Like Jesus, come on! This is what you thought of, and they have to take robot pills to heal.
Yeah, pills, not software updates or anything like that, or are the pills full of nanomachines or something?
I was always wondering what was in those pills. Like, do they explode?
What do they need
in their mouths?
If if what's important is inside the capsule. Just to let you know that it's a robot pill. This is like it's like Saturday morning level stuff. It's like I know that Mega Man, classic Mega Man, has kind of got the whole Astro thing going, but that's something even Astro Boy probably wouldn't do.
Dungeon Buster says robot disease. Was it like the cosmic rust in the Transformers?
Cosmic rust.
Like if they would get sick, like Jesus, like you're a robot. Like come on, man. So
supposedly Dr. Wily wants Mega Man's help into finding a cure, but of course Dr. Wily made the sickness to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's just an opportunity for Mega Man to get in contact with those who are infected, and maybe he'll get infected too. And he can then finally take him down because he's too sick to fight. But Roll ends up getting sick and gives him the antidote that was meant for Roll. And then you continue going to Wily's castle.
We didn't even talk about the enemies yet.
Yeah, the robot bosses in this game.
And here's where you can say for sure that it's like, okay, they were like kind of rushed this game. Sheep Man,
which I mentioned earlier, but basically is a play on the book. Do androids dream of electric sleep? Or yeah, that's what it was. Or no, maybe it was sheep. But which is why Sheep Man's a sheep and uses electricity for his attacks. That's kind of a stretch from Sheep Man, though. But whatever.
Yeah.
And his level is bizarre because a lot of the enemies are like the fucking Windows like mouse icon pointers that like end up like when they do the drop down list and you're doing the drag and drop, and then like it basically like pulls out those tiles and then throws them at you.
Mm.
And then let's see, Blade Man, whose weapon can be shot either up or down, and it kind of alternates between like two different levels, like every shot, which is weird. But Commando Man, who fires missiles at you that like then hit the ground, and then the shockwave, strangely enough, does more damage than the actual missile does. And there's Strike Man, who basically throws soccer balls at you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which one was the sports stage at Strike Man? Yeah.
And it's kind of his weapon kind of sort of functions like a Mega Ball, only you shoot it at a wall and it'll bounce all over the place. And you can't kick it or jump on it. But Solar Man, and who's the fire level, and it basically shoots a bomb that like goes out for a bit, then splits into two fire waves. And then there's Chill Man, whose weapon you're supposed to use indirectly, and it's really only useful on Nitro Man's. And you're basically supposed to throw it on the floor. It'll create a series of spikes, which Nitro Man will then run over. And then that's how you're supposed to damage him. You can freeze him with the weapon, but that's really just for you to get out of the way really quickly. And then there's Pump Man, who uses a pump to make a water shield. And he's in a sewer level. And the color scheme for that level is just ugly. Anyways, that's those bosses for you.
And I will say, like I said, how good the music in 9 is. This has good music too. It's pretty decent. Like, it's not. It's just everything in this game feels inferior to 9 to me. But these stages are, as Eric was saying earlier, a lot easier. Oh, Dungeon Buster. What? What? He tried to demo for 9 and he never played 10? Oh my goodness gracious. 9 is fantastic, dude. I'm telling you, you gotta one of the best stages of all Mega Man games is Splash Woman. From start to boss fight finish. Just, it's pretty great. So I'm saying you gotta at least play 9. Also 9 has some of the, I don't know if we talked about it, Concrete Man's weapons, one of the best weapons in Mega Man history.
Because you can, basically freeze anything with it.
Yeah, and you can make your own blocks. Make your own, pathways and shit, basically.
The only problem with it is that it has limited uses. It just consumes the weapon energy on that thing.
Yeah.
But, I couldn't... And it also shoots at an angle, too, so you have to keep an eye out for that, because you might put a block somewhere where, you have to get to the point in the game where there's these barriers that you need to throw the cement block in order to block them. But, they only, stick around for a couple seconds, and, you only have so much use of them. So, a lot of times I end up finding myself just damage boosting through some of those walls. Just to conserve on it. Because you need it for the final boss. Which the Dr. Wily... the Dr. Wily machines in 9 and 10 are also the most ridiculous things in the world.
What do you mean, R? What are you talking about?
R, yes. In 10, it's a pirate ship that shoots missiles at you. And 9, it's a dinosaur that launches eggs that you're supposed to bounce back. And then you have to hit its jaw with with the Cement Man's weapon.
Remember how we said Dr. Wily obviously lost his mind a long time ago? The evidence his boss robots is showing now. Dinosaurs and pirate ships. What's going to be the 11 boss? I mean, what the hell? He's done aliens, he's done dinosaurs, pirates. What else has he done?
He needs to do ninjas next. Clearly.
Oh god. Ninjas or zombies, I guess. He says he wants to eventually play those games. He just has so many RPGs. And he says he's just not Dungeon Master says, I'm just not a Mega Man fan in general, but I'm sorry. I'm just a Mega Man fan in general, but compared to me, you guys are super hardcore. Mm-hmm. He goes vicariously through us because we, the games he hasn't played. He has played some of the Mega Man games. I think he's played all the originals. And he says robot ninja dinosaurs. That's, yeah. Well, he's crazy. Why not?
Anyways, 10 has some interesting DLC. It has the Mega Man Busters from the Game Boy Mega Man games that you can play as the level select. The only problem with it is that you can earn their weapons if you beat them to use in the main game, but you've only got one life to get through those levels. And those levels are actually pretty difficult. And there's only one E-Tank you can pick up in 2 of the levels, and no E-Tank on 1 of the levels. But if you have a PC version, I suppose you could hack it in or just cheat your way through the level. But if you had the WiiWare version, you could just download a save that has them completed, and then you just play that. You can't do that for PS3, though, or the 360. At least not easily. There probably is a way somehow. But I don't know it. But 9 and 10 also brought back the shop, but a lot of the items are kind of useless. You could make the game harder by choosing to take off Mega Man's helmet, which makes him take twice the amount of damage, and there's actually a stupid achievement for that. But
I didn't even look up the Mega Man 10 achievements.
But
I forget how ridiculous they are.
And then
I remember Mega Man 10's achievement or Mega Man 9's achievements just
And then there's just your basic E tanks and weapon tanks, and I think there's also M tanks that you can get eventually. I don't think you can buy those though. I think you pick them up on the levels, which just restore everything. But and then there's the energy balancer, which is the only thing you want to buy in those shops, because like I said, but I guess they figured if they had made it like a thing that was integrated into Mega Man systems that you don't need to buy it, then the shop would be mostly truly useless unless you need to grind out the screws because you need the energy tanks to get through the level because you're not as good at the game.
Well, if you need that, then you're never going to get this achievement. Clear the game without getting damaged. I'll tell you now, I'm never getting that achievement.
But one of the DLC packs was to play as Bass, who plays much like he did in Mega Man Bass. But he can shoot in 8 directions, and he basically does machine gun fire. Unfortunately, he has his own shop, but unfortunately, unlike Mega Man and Bass, there's no way to improve the amount of damage those shots do. But it doesn't matter since they're kind of OP anyways, because it basically trivializes a lot of the game's bosses. And he does have the treble adapter where he can fly across the room. And you basically use that to get through pits and stuff like that you'd normally use Rush Coil or Jet for. And you can actually shoot in that form.
And I think Proto Man it's like some like the item types.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
from Mega Man 2.
Yeah, but there's the coil on the Jet. Mm-hmm. I know there wasn't a coil in 2, but it's like that.
The coil in 2 was like a proto coil because it's stuck on walls and stuff. But
why can't he have Tango? Proto Man should get Tango.
Yeah, Tango was in the shop, but you can't actually use Tango. And then of course there's Beat where you can use to basically save you from falling into pits.
Why is Proto Man got to be a second-rate robot? There's
an item that basically prevents you from dying from falling into spike pits, because spike pits are instant death. And with the item, it takes off like a fifth of your life or something like that. Still a nice chunk of your life though. But 10 had an easy mode, which lets you get through the levels a lot easier because a lot of the pits usually have platforms covered on top of them. So if you're having trouble with the platforming, it basically makes the platforming easier. It also reduces the damage you can take. And reduces the amount of damage, or basically increases the amount of damage Mega Man does.
So let's make an easy game easier. I got it. I'm not saying I shouldn't say easy game. It's still Mega Man hard.
The levels are easier, but the bosses typically are harder.
I prefer those. I prefer when the game is like that, when the bosses are harder than the levels themselves.
Because I had a hard time with the stupid Wily Machine emulator, which emulates the various bosses from the Mega Man series.
Oh yeah, those are hard.
I basically just, if you're playing as Bass, you can just shoot the hell out of them and they'll die quickly. But if you're playing as Mega Man or Proto Man, you have to use their weaknesses, and knowing their weaknesses isn't especially easy unless you've got the game memorized down pat. Because things you think would work on a form don't work as well. And then sometimes it's just hard to hit them because they go up into the air.
But, it's kind of like the X challenge is you have to fight 3 boss fights with each battle having 2 different bosses in them, and you can only select from 3 different weapons. Mm-hmm. So you have to know between these bosses from all 8 Mega Man X games their weaknesses.
The most interesting thing about Mega Man or 10's first Wily level is that it has multiple paths. Those paths usually if you take the right path, you'll find more like energy tanks or whatever.
Did 10 introduce the fake 1-up, or was that 9?
I think it might have been 9.
Okay. I was thinking it was 10, but it might be 9.
Yeah, Mega Man 11 has like the evil Eddie who basically steals a power up, and you have to destroy it really quickly because you basically have to use a speed gear to kill it quickly because it will run away quickly if you don't.
Yeah. Little fucker steals your shit. It's ridiculous.
And I'd like to know who made Evil Eddie. Like, did Dr. Wily steal the schematics of Eddie at some point, and he decided to make one now? Just to fuck with Mega Man. But, anyways,
Hey, I mean, Dr. Wily has all that free time building robots. Wait a minute.
The game also has a couple of mini challenge stages that you can play if you want to, and they have various different challenges, like learning how to properly use the rush jet or whatever, something like that. Or you can play endless mode, which basically it's kind of like you know what endless runners are. It's basically that, but it's an endless Mega Man platformer where you keep. The game keeps randomly generating, and you keep going and see how far you can get before you ultimately die.
You know, I actually had fun with that mode.
But that's Mega Man 9 and 10.
Well, Dungeon Buster in chat said he wanted us to talk about. I have to scroll up. I forgot what he said. Mega Man X First Class.
First Class? What's that?
I don't know. I'm gonna Google it. I was gonna say, what about we could talk about
Street Fighter X Mega Man.
Did he mean? Did he mean Command Mission? Maybe.
We did talk about that already.
We did talk about Command Mission, yeah. We talk about the bunch of bands that have sprung up, around Mega Man and
the Megas, the Proto Man, Mega Man.
Yeah, and I was gonna say also artists that are named after Mega Man, like Arm Cannon and Mega Ran, and it's Mega Man's been so influential within the gaming community. I
need to check into Arm Cannon and see if they've done anything else, because I got 2 of their remix albums, like Leg Vacuum and Leg Vacuum 2, but I don't know if they did anything after that. But,
he said no. There's no First Class. Sorry, it was a joke running from Eric's Mutant Robot Academy.
Yeah.
Okay. I totally took you seriously. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
I thought maybe he got the name of Fully Charged wrong. That's why I was going.
Oh. The Megas haven't done anything in a while either. The last thing they did was they introducing the Belmonts, which they were starting to do Castlevania music, and then that was a couple years ago, and they haven't really done anything since.
There's all the OC remixers too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, September 7th, 2016, so it's been over 2 years. And there's been no updates that I'm aware of. I'm looking on their website right now, I don't see anything.
As far as I can tell, they haven't disbanded, but at the same time, they're kind of not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, I know they all have their regular jobs because they don't make a lot of money being the Megas. Just none of those groups, Proto Man, Arm Cannon, Year 20XX, none of them make any money. I think, I don't want to say that, I don't know. I know
the only one that's been successful, but that's only because it's branched out and done other things.
Yeah, but he still has a day job as a teacher, too. So, because I was gonna say Mega Man, but I was also thinking he still works, so I don't think he's probably making that much money either. I'm not saying he's not successful. I'm just saying it's,
Well, the only other person I can think of comes to mind is somebody who did several Mega Man remixes, but he doesn't like do Mega Man music like completely as a living. But he does make music as a living.
Well,
Daniel North.
I was gonna say Tommy Tallarico. He does the video game live, and sometimes they do Mega Man.
Yeah.
That sort of counts, I guess.
Do you want to talk about Street Fighter X Mega Man, though?
Street Fighter versus Mega Man? Yeah, that's a really easy game. I was surprised by how easy it was. But Mega Man versus the original.
Well, it's only real. It's like 3 or 4 levels long.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, there's Ryu and Dalsim.
And then you fight Sagat, maybe.
I was thinking Sagat and Chun-Li might be the other one.
Oh wait, Blanca, Chun-Li, and Ryu.
Oh, Blanca, you do fight Blanca. I do remember fighting Blanca.
And then you fight Akuma at the end and Sagat.
Yeah.
Oh, they're hidden bosses though, so you have to beat the game a certain way to fight them.
Well, it's not.
And you gain weapons based on their abilities, of course.
I know I played another online Mega Man game, and I can't remember what it was.
I never got around to beating it because I think my only experience was playing the demo.
I just remember that game got taken down really quick, but then
Capcom was like, we'll work with you to put up this game, and as long as you follow these guidelines, you can keep it up indefinitely.
Yeah. I understand, though. Capcom does have to protect their IP. If they don't...
Unlike other companies, though, they're much cooler about Mega Man fan games, which is why there's still a ton of fan games going on right now.
Oh, yeah, they're cool with the culture, even. I mean, at one time, they were working with the Megas to do a soundtrack. For, which was it, Mega Man Universe, I think? Which sounded like it was going to be an awesome game, basically like Mega Man with all the weapons type, you know? And a world that you're going to be able to play online with people, and just it sounded really cool, but that was...
I talk a little bit about Mega Man Unlimited or Mega Man Ultra, but like both of them are fan games that are incredibly difficult, and I've only played a couple levels, and I never got around to beating it.
Maybe what was one of those I played?
Completed fan games. Like, there's lots of uncompleted fan games, but those are the two most notable completed ones in recent memory. But then there's like stuff like the game that's not even out yet, but it's probably eventually going to come out. That's Mega Man X Corrupted, which is kind of set up like a open world-ish type of game, because like the world seems interconnected, but there's still a story. But you can basically handle how you're playing any way you see fit. You know, I guess at some point you'll eventually get the end, because like you need some powers to get through these areas, so it's kind of like Metroid in that regard. But each weapon has basically its own energy meter, like including the Buster. So they basically like run on cooldowns. Obviously, Busters charge quicker than other weapons, but like much quicker, like almost instantaneous. But you can't just spam the Buster all you want. So you do have to think carefully about how you're fighting. But there's like Mega Man has like multiple different armor sets you can equip, and Zero has a bunch of different skills you can use.
Wait, so it's Mega Man and Zero?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
It's an X-Man fan game, not a Mega Man.
So it's X. It's not... Okay.
I said Mega Man X Corrupted.
I heard you say X. I heard Mega Man. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
blame Skype for that.
Sorry.
But
that's why I was confused. I'm like, wait a minute, what's Zero? What? Okay. Sorry. Let's go on.
But just look that up on YouTube. It's pretty impressive looking. And basically, like they converted the assets from. Well, I think they're all original assets, but they look a lot like the original assets. Because like I think it's the one like way they've avoided getting C&D'd by Capcom by not using their assets, just recreating them down to like stunning detail. But they're basically using the ride platforms from X3 as like your travel points for fast travel and stuff like that, and switching out armor.
That's
but
interesting.
like the game looks like it's difficult though, so they need to really work on the difficulty. But that's all I can really think of for fan games. But
I was gonna say Super Mario crossover. I know I've talked about it before, but it is pretty awesome playing original Mario Brothers with Mega Man or Breakman, who's in the game.
I remember playing a Flash animation where it was a Mega Man cross Ghouls and Ghosts crossover.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you basically just destroy everything because you could just charge your Buster and shoot the hell out of it like zombies. Or there's the Mega Man and Metroid crossover Flash game that I've also played.
There's not a Mega Man and Sonic crossover because there's the crossover comics, so I could see that this game. Although I don't know how the hell it would work, but
I guess we could talk about games that have been inspired by Mega Man.
Oh yeah, you do want to give us your review of Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, but I haven't got around to playing it, so that'll be next week. I don't have time for that right now.
Well,
Over the weekend.
We're probably not gonna do another show. We're not gonna do this again until I'd imagine November.
Yeah. Why November?
Well, so I have time to beat the game.
Oh, you don't expect you'll have it beat before then?
I expect it'll take me a while.
Okay, but
I'm not good, but I'll let you know.
By then I'll probably have my number 9 completed. But so we both need time for that.
Gotcha. Like I love Mega Man, but I'm not a great gamer. So it's taking me a while.
I have considered taking Tuesday off so I could just play it all day.
Wow.
Yeah. Because getting through work is really a drag.
Yeah, we got like meetings planned.
We're still in this weird period where it's hot enough for the building to be even hotter than the outside. It's like once it gets like stays like in the 50s, the temperature in the building tends to stay at the same temperature. But like since it got warmer recently, it's kind of stuck there at 70-ish.
So you work in a shitty insulated building then?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The only time of the year it's tolerable is late fall through winter and early spring.
Oh, that sucks. I know, like where I work, they usually have the temperature really well regulated, but to do that, they have to have like at certain points like air on in the winter and not just heat. But where I was sat, my desk was directly under the air in the wintertime.
The lunchroom's the only place with air conditioning other than the print room. And the office, of course.
Of course, the office has always got air conditioning. It's the way it works. It must be shitty to be like a mechanic. Like, you're out in that garage and hot and burning up, and you look over and the manager's sitting in his office chilling in the air conditioning. Like, that son of a bitch. One of these days there's gonna be mutiny, motherfucker. It's coming.
But, the games that like other games that are inspired by Mega Man would be like, let's see, Battle Kid, which kind of takes the formula of Mega Man, but they make it really ridiculously hard and one-hit kills. And then there's Venture Kid, which basically takes the visual style of Battle Kid, but makes it play more like a Mega Man game because you've got health. And then there's games like I'm trying to like of course I mentioned earlier Azure Striker Gunvolt. Well, that plays more like a Zero game, but like it's not exactly a Mega Man game because like yeah, you do get things from fighting bosses, but they're especially if you're playing it 2 and playing as Copen, because like his gunshots will kind of emulate their abilities, but like Gunvolt.
So he's Axel.
But Gunvolt gets weapons that don't really have the elemental properties or whatever that you can take advantage of. They just do different things. But and his method of attack is mainly just sticking pin needles to the enemy and then using his electricity to like. They basically turns them into a lightning rod. He just uses electricity to shock them to death. But and using his electricity to create shields to avoid projectiles.
Frank's in chat complaining about the Mega Man 11 demo, so I asked him if he beat it on easy, and he's like, "I don't want to play it on easy because you guys laugh at me." No, we're laughing at you anyway.
You'll play it on easy; it'll still be too hard for you, and then we'll laugh at you for failing that hard.
I was gonna say at least play it on easy though. Wow, I wasn't gonna do that, but now I am. Sorry, Frankie. Anyway, no matter what happens, you're getting laughed at.
Yeah, the demo in particular is not great, though, because you're playing Blockman's level, and I'm guessing it's one of the harder levels. Because there's a couple things about that level that are kind of like the placement of the blocks and the knockback time and distance.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I like I said before, I think there's going to be an upgrade. I think it's going to have a store and a skill upgrades like reduce knockback, climb ladders faster, probably like one hit on spikes and shit like that, you know.
But there was another game I was trying to think of. There's been a couple more, but there's that Super Mighty Power Man that we talked about on RPGrinders that isn't out yet, but and then I guess technically Demon's Crest kind of plays like a Mega Man X, and like part Mega Man X, part Metroid, because it's got that RPG angle where like it's kind of open world, but each level is basically disconnected from each other, but you use like an overworld to get to them each. But and then there's upgrades that like extend your health and stuff, but like, and you're shooting a bunch of things with your Demon Breath. So it's and one of them even charges up, so it's kind of like a Mega Man game. But
we could also talk about Mega Man's appearances in other games, like fighting games, for instance.
Yeah.
Like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Like that weird fighting game with Onimusha, where Rockman EXE and Zero from Mega Man Zero showed up.
The hell? Which game was that?
Onimusha Blade Warriors.
What the hell? That sounds crazy.
Smash Brothers, like copycat clone game that Capcom made, but in the Onimusha universe.
Did that come here?
Yeah, it was for the PS2.
Oh, wow, okay.
You didn't know about Blade Warriors?
Maybe I did. It's been a while because I don't remember it.
Then there was the Onimusha Tactics, but that's not Mega Man related, so...
Well, Marvel vs. Capcom, we've got original Mega Man, and we've had X. And I think Zero was in Infinity.
Mega Man Legends was in Tatsunoko X Capcom.
Which game used bad cover art Mega Man from the what was original Mega Man cover art?
Taking Cross Street Fighter.
Oh God! Like what the fuck? Like that was Capcom totally trolling us. Like here, hey Mega Man fans, I know you've been asking for Mega Man. Here he is.
I don't know or care. Just that game was an abortion.
That was just it was an insult. They did it on purpose, and I was not happy about that.
And like you said, like Devil May Cry had that trailer that came out recently where Nero has Mega Man's Buster Arm as a weapon, and he's shooting this demon with it. And they even like did callbacks, like when you die, he basically explodes like Mega Man, and then you see the little explodey bits.
That's pretty funny. But what about Dead Rising, where you could get the Mega Man helmet and you get like a little, like you get the arm cannon, but instead of like shooting like the arm cannon, it shot like rubber foam balls because it was in a toy shop. Because these are supposed to be toys, so. It was
and then And then Dead Rising 3, or was it Dead Rising 4? There was the Mega Man X armor that you could put on, and then it actually did function like Mega Man's armor. The Buster actually worked.
Oh, that's cool. I loved using it it's like using stuff like that and like gumballs and shit.
And then there was the Calico costumes in the Monster Hunter games, replete with like actual functioning Buster.
Oh, well, if the Buster's gonna work, I'm in. I want that light up Buster.
It says you do get Buster Gun if you manage to kill something like 53,000 zombies, which is the population.
Oh, I do remember something about that. Yeah, I never came close to that. Still had limited shots, though. Of course it did. That's a bit ridiculous.
I mean, can you like charge it up, or like does it recharge slowly or something?
He said annihilated everything. Well, I've never used it. I've only used like the pop gun, like throw some like gumballs on the floor and then hit them with that.
Like to recharge it, do you have to pick up energy tanks? Yeah.
Oh, wow. When you kill a zombie, do you steal their weapon? Steal their power?
Like what powers do zombies have?
Your guns.
Yeah, no, steal the powers of the psychopaths. That's what you should do. Yeah.
There's some crazy flipping people in those games. They're all crazy, actually. Ooh, Frank said stopped playing Dead Rising when I lost a lot of progress.
Yeah, Dead Rising's Buster was kind of like a one and done deal, but I think the whole armor set from 3, or maybe it was 3. I think you can use it as much as you want, but it's probably not nearly as useful as it used to be. It's just kind of neat. The one thing I thought was funny was basically the Blanca gloves, where you basically act like Blanca and just electrocute everything around you.
Oh, they also had that the Servbot hat helmet.
Yeah.
That was fun. You could put it on like the zombies, and then they were just confused and had no idea what was going on. Like that seems like it'd be fun to do in real life. Like just fuck with zombies.
But
Frank says I never look weird in any armor. Frank, can I ask you why you're wearing armor? This is the 21st century, and we don't have to fight knights anymore. It's not the medieval times like you're used to.
He wants to make that medieval Mexican movie because it's actually an autobiography about his own life.
He wears armor. Yeah, he wears armor every day because he really, really wants to slay a dragon. He's been trying for thousands of years. He wants that dragon so bad.
All the dragons are dead, man. You killed them all, didn't you?
That's why there are no dragons anymore. Frank is to blame. Trying to think, what else was Mega Man in? Because he's done so many cameos. There was like a top-down shooter.
Yeah, it was called Cannon Spike.
Did you talk about that already?
No.
Okay.
Cannon Spike is weird because, like, the top-down shooter, Mega Man and Cammy are in it for no apparent reason. Just because.
Cammy, she doesn't even shoot.
Well, she was a Special Forces soldier.
I mean, yeah, but when she's fighting in the game, she never uses a gun.
Yeah, she uses a gun in this game. Except for when she melees.
Highlander. I don't think that's how it works.
I'm pretty sure the Highlander was a Celtic-only thing.
There can only be one. That's why it works.
Then again, Christopher Lambert was French, so maybe it does work.
Yeah, it's like Lambert.
Lambert.
Yeah, it's like you don't pronounce the T. It's because he's French. Anyway,
I think we're like exhausted on Mega Man talk.
I know, like I'm just trying to think because like he's been in so many cameos. He's done.
When we do the 11 review, I think we're gonna also like cover adaptations.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Like the shows.
Yeah.
For a certain cartoon.
What do you? Yeah, I know. We could talk about your absolute favorite cartoon, Ruby Spears, Mega Man. We can talk about Fully Charged, which I am enjoying. I think so far it's been pretty good. 10-minute episodes. For some reason, Mega Man always tries to talk through the problems, and we always know he's going to end up shooting, so I don't know what the point of trying to talk to the problems is. But no, the only thing I really think is weird about is the whole Mega Mini thing.
No, what he does is he tries to talk us out of his way of the things, right. and then there's the shooting, and then there's the reconciliation talk.
Right. And the
and then we learned a lesson today after that.
So many lessons learned.
It's like they put Adventure Time in like maybe like a child's cartoon show and stuck at the end. Like I'm talking about like maybe like Dora, maybe.
I'm waiting for them. There's something they showed in the early images of transforming Rush, and so far he hasn't done that. Like they showed a Rush cycle, and so far we haven't seen that. I'd like a Rush cycle. That'd be cool. I think.
Oh yeah, I found the poor Rush Marine from Mega Man 3 and 4. I did find a use for it, other than the one small section you can use in, or two small sections you can use in. Use it to beat the level Wily level 1 boss instead of the actual blades. Just float up right up there and just shoot out the turtle.
Huh. Yeah.
I used the Rush that way for Wily Machine. Because like that Wily Machine is on this stupid leg thing that basically he'll descend and ascend up slowly, and like you can only damage him when he's down. So I was like, screw trying to jump at the right time and shooting the spark shot him. I'm just gonna take the Rush Jet and plug him with bullets until he dies.
Dungeon Buster asks, is there some hidden story behind the bad box art for Mega Man 1?
No, there is a story, but it's not really that hidden. I don't know where to look for it, though.
I thought it was basically just the art department and the game designers were separate departments, basically. They didn't communicate.
And the fact that Capcom has always been cheap. It's cheaper to do your own art than it is to pay the royalty fees for the person who originally did the art.
He says, is it weird that the Atari has... or actually, Frank said that. He says, is it weird that Atari had some of the best cover art? No, I mean...
They took a screen image. That's lame.
There were great box art on the NES and Super Nintendo. It was just... The Mega Man box art was never good. It just never was. Even when they got close to it,
but it never was really that better. It's like, why don't you just use the Japanese art? What's wrong with the Japanese art? Why can't you at least make it look like the Japanese art?
Yeah, from what I remember, like the artist had no idea what like the plot was or anything, so they just, they just kind of made it up.
It's like, oh, the
Capcom told us just to make something. Well, okay. I need to pick up my son from grade school, so I'll ask him to do something.
But I think we're way over, I think, at this point. So let's wrap it up. We'll see you guys in several weeks. I'm
gonna look up the story for the cover art real quick. See if I can find it.
Alright. I'll find something to talk about. Not Mega Man related, but sort of related, because their Time Spinner came out recently. It's on PSN and PC now. And while it is a Metroidvania, you do get a charge shot that uses your MP, and it kind of functions like a Mega Buster in that regard. So that's something. And your character is kind of dressed in blue. But you should check that out. It's a good Metroidvania. I mean, I've only played a little bit of it, but I knew it was something special when I saw the Kickstarter, and I don't regret backing it.
Okay, let me see here. It says back in the 80s and 90s, box art that was often hand-drawn or done in-house or by a third party, or in some cases Americanized in order to hide the Japanese influence. The same ridiculous crap they pulled with a lot of anime exported from Japan then. Back then, artists had to guesstimate what to make characters look like on the box based on often nondescript blobs of color and pixels. Yeah, like that's basically, like I was saying, like there was no communication. You know, Capcom was being cheap, like Eric was saying, and they would outsource a lot of the artwork without giving them really much detail as to what they could do.
The Captain N fucked up Mega Man, I think, even more badly than even that box art, because they made him short, gave him a really annoying voice, changed his color to green because I guess what they saw was,
and then they made him say Mega every fucking second.
And then they made Kid Icarus do that too, because like he said Icarus at the end of everything. Which
at least he looked like Pit, though. I mean, Mega Man, what the fuck was Mega Man?
And why did he talk like this and say Mega this and Mega that?
It's like they looked at a screenshot from the game and he was like I don't know, Woodman's color, and it's like, oh, so that's what he looks like.
Yeah, like I'm not finding anything more descriptive of the exact story. Like I'm just finding like basically what we were saying. Like I've heard there's a more specific story, but you know, whatever.
But that's it for Mega Man retrospective until the review of Destiny, I guess.
Yes.
We'll be back in about a month, I guess.
Well, it might be sooner than that. Just whenever we're both done, like, with the game, I should say. You know,
but,
not just beating it, but like when we've really had, like, when we've got our fill of it, you know, and we can give like kind of a story, like a more nuanced review of it than a first impression.
But you'll hear our first impressions on RPGrinders for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But until then, see you guys later. Bye bye. Play us out.
Dun, dun, dun,
You have to.
Oh, it's still going? Oh, I didn't. It's still going. What the hell?
Not anymore. It's not going on anymore.
It's in his head.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, sorry, Dungeon, I was a little late. I got like a cold and I took a nap and overslept. I didn't set the alarm, so that's why the lateness today. But hope you enjoyed that. No grinders on Friday, Dungeon, and if anybody's listening, so we're gonna
be on vacay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot we're not doing it this Friday. Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
That means I just get to write a bunch of reviews that night, which will be good because I haven't done anything lately.
Well, now I kind of want next Friday off.
Dragon Quest is finally done. I've platinumed that game. No more Dragon Quest 10.
Oh,
wow.
Shit, you platinumed that bitch. Well, congratulations. I'm very jealous.
It took me 147 hours, but I did it.
Holy fuck, man. Well, that's good. That's good news for me. But,
although I probably could have cut that down by about 10 hours because I didn't know that fulfilling all the foraging requirements didn't actually play into a trophy. So I wasted time there.
Ah, gotcha. Well, I'm glad you got the platinum, you son of a bitch. You know, I need to get the platinum on that damn thing. It's good. It's holy shit. There's a big gap in here.
There's also an easy way to fight the final boss, the true final boss, and like a not so easy way.
Well,
the game kind of doesn't tell you this.
Yeah. Well, I need to.
I mean, it hits at it, but like you need to use a specific version of the Sword of Light.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I'm just starting. I got a couple of other games. What were you saying, Break? You wish that you could have the following Friday off?
Yeah, so I could play Mega Man all day.
Well, we can do that. We can do 2 weeks in a row, and then
we don't do 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I mean, we can't disappoint Dungeon like that. Our only listener. Dungeon's almost done with DK. How dare you guys?
I'd be playing Valkyria Chronicles 4, but I'm kind of playing Metal Max Xeno instead. But I think I played more than enough of that to give me a fair review.
Yeah.
I'm not playing anything new. I'm not getting into anything until Mega Man 11.
I did pick up Battlefront 2. Breakman.
Battletoads too.
Yeah, Battletoads too. Yeah, you really want to see.
I remember they hinted at that, like, woo! People going crazy for Battletoads last E3. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
They showed you nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Relax.
Yeah. Tank Party. Eric's been rolling around in tank.
Well, if you play Valkyria Chronicles, there's also a tank commander, so...
Oh, I want the 10 Commandments tank commander. That's what I want.
Do you shoot 10 commandments out of the cannon?
Yeah, thou shalt not shoot me while in battle, or something. I don't know. Yeah, that Battlefront 2 is not bad, man. I'm digging it. I picked it up for $10, so yay me, I guess. So having fun with that. Let's see, what else did I pick up? I can't remember, but we'll talk about it in 2 weeks. There'll be plenty of shit to talk about. All right, Dungeon, thanks a lot for joining.
Is that when Battlefield comes out? 2 weeks?
I did buy Battlefield 1 for $5, which was weird. Like, I never really buy games like that, but for $5, I mean, what the hell.
Right.
But Battlefront's fun, man. You were right, Break. I'm having a good time. I thought I was going to be in for Loot Box City, but they took that out apparently. And
no, I did. There's a new update too, and I need to put it in and see what the new update is. Cause I know that they added bunch of Clone Wars stuff.
Oh, did they? Well, that's cool.
Or I don't know if it's out yet, actually.
Oh yes.
It might be out. I need to check.
This reminds you, like, Bumblebee might be a good movie.
Yeah, like Bumblebee. The trailer alone proved Michael Bay was a lying sack of shit.
Yeah. Well, sucks.
It's like we can't do classic G1 Transformers movie. Only they totally can.
I know, exactly. Except you can.
Now there's a problem because, like, if they look like this then why do they look the way they do in Michael Bay movies?
Yeah.
Well, this isn't supposed to be like
Is this its own continuity based on things they hinted at in that movie, or what?
Yeah, Jesus. Pretty much. And then they're gonna be they're gonna do new, like the next Transformers is gonna be completely new.
Oh, so they're not gonna do part 6.
Yeah, so they're not gonna do like any more because the sales numbers on them were just going down and down over as they kept.
It's like Michael Bay makes 5 movies and he doesn't even finish the story. And oh well.
Like they might continue a Bumblebee series by itself, but they're not planning on doing any more of that.
Platinum. He says he wants Platinum to do a Bumblebee game. Why not? Or who was the
Platinum already did a Transformers game though.
Yeah.
It was called Devastation.
Yeah.
I know, but he's saying he wants them to do a Bumblebee game based on that.
Yeah, and they need to devote way more time to it because it was clearly rushed. But it's still a fun game. It's just there's issues with it.
Did they do? Did Platinum? Was it Platinum that did Ultimate Destruction? Hulk Ultimate Destruction?
No.
All right. Who did?
Ultimate Destruction was created by the people who went on to do Prototype.
Yeah. What studio is that? That's not Guerrilla Games, but. Oh. God damn it, man!
I don't think the studio exists anymore. I think they went under.
Oh God, that game was fucking phenomenal. Ultimate Destruction. I love that game. I wish we could get a proper sequel to that. That would be better than any Transformer nonsense shit. But whatevs. Hey, have any of you guys played 36 Fragments of Midnight?
No, but I gotta go. It's almost 10 o'clock.
You son of a bitch. You. Okay, I'll put this in Dropbox. All right, Dungeon, thanks a lot, man. No show Friday for those listening on the stream.
You don't have to leave. I'm saying I need to go.
No, I trust me, I gotta go too. I gotta go get some medicine or something. But
okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dungeon, for joining. And if you're listening on the archives, no show this coming Friday for RP Grinders, but we'll be back the following week probably to talk a lot of Mega Man shit. I'm sure these guys want to get in and talk more Mega Man. So there you go. A couple weeks. Rock on Mega Man and RP Grinders party members, Dungeon says. So thank you, Dungeon. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna stop the stream. You guys rock. You know the deal. But thanks a bunch. All right, let's stop the stream.